I wanted to become a prosecutor because I've always had an appreciation for public service, and I've been fortunate enough to work in several government offices now, and I've seen great leaders and sort of gain an appreciation for what it is they do, that there's a dignity to public service. And so I was lucky enough to work with some great prosecutors in the past that were mentors to me, and really seemed like a great example and something I wanted to do to help the community. The best part about being a prosecutor is when you work on a case where you can have a positive impact. And sometimes that means handling a tough case, winning a tough trial or a contested hearing, and having some bit of justice served. But it can also be giving someone a second chance, or helping facilitate some defendant to change their life and make a change for the better in that regard. The difficult times are when you have a case where you feel like you can't make that positive impact, where try as you might, you lack the evidence to prove the case, and you lack that bargaining power that having the evidence gives you. And so it's those times where you feel like maybe justice is not served. A couple of the very difficult cases that I've been involved with involved a case where someone was dead, and one that comes to mind was leaving the scene of an accident where a person was struck by a car and killed. And then even actually before I worked here, there were a couple misdemeanors of vehicular homicide and vehicular manslaughter, where those cases involved someone's family member dying. And in the misdemeanor world, that was an M1, a misdemeanor 1 and a misdemeanor 2. The leaving the scene of the accident was a felony 3. But when you go to tell a victim's family, hey, your loved one is dead, and the defendant faces something like, the misdemeanors, 90 days in jail, 180 days in jail, or even as a felony, 36 months in jail or prison, that doesn't seem like justice to that family. One of the common misconceptions is that we want to get as many convictions as possible. And then even beyond that we want to send as many people to prison as we can, or we want to keep the prisons full. And I would say that, really from the prosecutors that I know and myself, the way I operate, nothing could be further from the truth. We want a just outcome. Some cases that does include asking for a term of imprisonment, but many times it doesn't. And our society has gone to great lengths in recent years to find alternatives to prison, ways to try to rehabilitate the defendants short of sending them to prison, different local sanctions and drug treatment programs that are inpatient. And so I try to point out to folks that maybe don't fully understand what it is I do, that yeah, there are cases where we seek prison, but really there's many more where we're trying to get another creative resolution to try to fix the problem so that the defendant doesn't reoffend.